Welcome everybody to another edition of the GioMoShow. This time a field interview. Got a little bonus one here as we're at Berkeley High School for the Corporate Cup Relays. Here, a competition between Stellantis, Ford, and GM. A track meet here, and I'm joined by one of Oakland University's Run Club members. He decided to participate here at the Corporate Cup events. Justin Lasecki, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's great to be here today.
It's a great day for running track and field here. It's over here. It's like 81 degrees and sunny. Like, it's just perfect. Couldn't ask for a better day.
We really lucked out on the weather today. That's for sure.
For sure. So I want to ask you, every time I do these interviews, I need to get a sense of the sports background of my guests here. So for you, where does your sports background come in? Did you run track and field before, or like what kind of sports you play growing up? All that. Give me the backstory.
Yeah, so I first got involved with running in middle school. In 7th grade, I was part of a run club. It was called Polar Dragons. We'd go out and run in the winter in the snow. And,
so you guys are freaks.
Yeah, and then that kind of led me to, in 8th grade, I decided to join the cross country and track team. So I was running all throughout 8th grade. In high school, I kind of took a break from running. I got into mountain biking. I raced varsity on our high school cycling team.
You guys had a cycling team?
Yeah, we were. They founded it the year that I started it. So our team, we were kind of like the first varsity riders for our school, which was really cool.
A pioneer we have here.
And after high school, I kind of took a break from, hardcore athletics, if you call it that. And I just recently got back into running here about a year ago when I joined OU's running club, and that kind of got me back into racing and stuff, and I found a lot of enjoyment in it.
So I always, for runners especially, I've interviewed track and field athletes before. My younger brother, he did cross country, but it's a torturous sport. Would you say just running until you can't anymore?
Well, yeah, I'd say that's definitely the case, and it's all about finding your rhythm, right? Your balance. And there's this term that's kind of thrown around. It's called a runner's high. So you get to a point where you're just in your groove. You're not really thinking about a whole lot, and you're cruising right along, and you're feeling pretty good because you're not thinking about the pain that you're in, right? And that's one of the best parts of it, in my opinion, is when you get to that point, when you get in that groove and you just keep on moving. That's my favorite part, I'd say.
I've always thought a runner's high was a bit of a myth. A few times I've been able to catch it, but it takes a little bit of time to get over the hump a little bit to get there. But in terms of that runner's high and just kind of like finding your groove, do you find it easier running in a group versus by yourself? Or I'm curious, what does a group dynamic add to running?
Absolutely. So a group dynamic, I'd say running in a group is better for training. And I even experienced this today during my race. It's you just get into that groove following that person in front of you, so you're not even thinking about your pace. You're just like, okay, I'm just keeping pace with this guy. And that allows you to just keep moving. And you're not thinking about the pain, you're just thinking about, let's keep pace with this guy. Whereas when you're on your own, if you've got your watch going or your phone saying, what your distance is and what pace you're at, you got to be actively thinking about that. Do I need to speed up? Should I slow down so I don't overdo it? And so on. But yeah, when you're in a group, I definitely prefer running in a group for that reason exactly.
So then I'm curious afterwards, so let's say, even today, so your events for today is in a Corporate Cup Relays. You had the 5K earlier this morning, and then later in the day, we're both going to be doing the mile run. So when you're done with a race, especially for a 5K, a longer distance event, how long does it take for you to recover? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how awful is it afterwards?
Well, it depends a lot on the distance and then how hard that I go out. So on today, like a race day, I'm giving it everything that I've got. So for a 5K, that's it maybe takes me about 20 minutes at least to recover from it. But again, that depends on how hard that I'm going. So if I'm just out training, going for a fun run on my own, and I decide to do 5 kilometers, then it might only take me 5 or 10 minutes to recover from that. And it's ultimately about how hard I decide to go. So on a day like this, where I'm giving it my all, it takes me about 20 to 30 minutes to recover after a race. Yeah.
So going again to today's race, how do you think you did? You did about 20 minutes in the 5K, and later today you're going to be doing the mile. So how did you feel about the 5K?
I felt really good coming out of it. I PR'd. My final time was 20 minutes, 8 seconds, which is almost a whole minute faster than my old PR I set a couple of weeks ago. So that was just really awesome to to get that.
So now looking to the mile, after running such a long distance, how do you kind of get back into it for a mile run? It's obviously it's a bit shorter, but what are you going to be doing throughout the day to prepare for that?
Well, yeah, I just sat down, had lunch a little while ago, just a nice easy lunch. So, I don't want to be digesting anything too crazy. But I'm just going to do my regular warm-ups again, make sure I'm hanging out, making sure that I'm not overdoing it with even just like general walking around the track. I don't want to be burning any extra energy or putting my legs through any extra strain before this mile than I have to.
And one last question: what's the best mid-meet snack? What are you snacking on during a meet like this?
Oh, Welch's fruit snacks, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, thank you very much, Justin. It's been a great time interviewing you here at the Corporate Cup Relays at Berkeley High School or Middle School. They kind of combined it here. But you can catch the GioMoShow Thursdays at 6 on WXOU, and be sure to check out me on YouTube and Spotify as well if you cannot make the live show. We'll see you next week, everybody.